What is on top of the deck? What is on top of the deck? Oh, it's Lightning Helix! Oh my god! Oh my god!
Welcome to Hunt the Week.
Hello everyone and welcome on into the show. Welcome on in. New league, new you, right? Forget everything you learned about Brawler's Gate. Maybe you did great, maybe you scrubbed out, maybe it wasn't your league. Well, you know what? Dom U is here and Dom U is your league. I guarantee it, and that's the Goku promise. You're going to do great and you are going to succeed. I'll see you in the top 8. I'll be there. You're going to be there. We're all going to be there having a great time. That's how it works, right? We can all be winners. We're all winners. Congratulations. Hello, everyone. I am, of course, your host with the most. Your Goku or go home. Your Don, John, DeMarco. And we'll talk about it real quick, but we are talking to I'm a one-time Rookie of the League, Strixhaven. One-time won a league, Chaos 2. And now one-time made the Player of the Year, Mega Draft. Oh boy, what a time to be alive, huh? What a time to be Goku. It's feeling good over here. I hope you're feeling good too. We got a big show and we got a lot to talk about here in Dom U. What do you do? What do you build? How are your cards? Well, here's the kicker.
I'm the kicker. K-I-C-K-E-R.
All right, it's the kicker. You know what that is. It's strategy time, strategic moves. What are you doing? What's your build? What's your deck? What's my deck? It's not good. My pool is bad. I'll tell you that right now. I don't like my pool. I'm playing maybe two rares in my pool. It's just not good. It's not what I want. I want to be playing, Grixis or Esper, spells, control. That's what I want to do. What am I doing? White-green creatures. Just playing white-green creatures. A lot of 2-drops. A lot of 2-drops in my deck. And we're splashing some red because I don't have enough playables in just 2 colors. Can't do it. Couldn't do it if I wanted to. And I assume you're having a similar issue. Now, normally, for a new league, I say play 2 colors. You don't want to mess up your colors and get screwed. Play 2 at the beginning. Doesn't happen here. You can't play 2 if you want to, I don't think. So play the best 3 colors you can. Make that splash as little as possible. Try to keep your mana base good. You still don't want to lose, because you didn't draw one of your colors. But try to make that last color, as much of just a little trickle. Just an actual little splash in the deck. That's what you want to do. And we're in week 1. If you're new to the league, welcome to the show. I do a weekly podcast where I talk about what's going on in the league. I interview people on it. And we're going to talk about basic rules of the league. It's a 60-card format. Play no more than 5 games, no less than 3. Games start on Friday, 5 p.m., I think, EST, and go for a week. And then that's it. Yeah, you got a week to play all 5 games, or as little as 3, but I recommend playing 5. And get out there. Build your deck. Use the deck clinic. Get some practice games in. Get yourself on Richard's Monday night, commentary-filled bonanza. That stuff's great. Go be a part of that. It's hard for me to wait that long. If Friday comes and I'm jacked, right? I'm psyched. I want to play my games. It's hard for me to wait till Monday. But maybe I'll do it because 1, I love being a part of the community, and 2, I want Richard to say really nice things about me. So if he's commentating in my game, he kind of has to say a couple nice things about me. And we're in week 1. You lose a game. You get a pack added to your pool. Any pack you like in standard. Now, are you one of these people that thinks Vow is the way to go? Big, strong rares and blood tokens? Maybe you think that SNC is good because you want 3-color fixing and you're starting in a 3-color deck. Maybe you just want to go all Dom U for all Dom U synergy. You want to be a 5-color domain kicker deck because those seem pretty good. I don't know what I'm doing yet. I haven't made up my mind. I'll probably just stick Dom U. Probably. But I haven't decided. Again, my pool's bad. My pool is not good. I was all bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, ready for a new league, ready to start playing. I've been jamming this set a lot. I'm really liking this set. I like what's going on. I like the cards. I like the mechanics. And oh boy, is my pool just very, very bad. But it's okay. You don't always get a good pool. I'm sure there are people out there with worse pools. I'm sure there are people out there with busted pools that have been dealing with having a bad pool. So, hey, it's all cyclical. It comes around. You have a good league. You have a bad league. It all evens out in the wash. Now, if we're talking W, I'm going to say I think every color pair is good. I think every color is good. I don't know if you're playing the Defender deck or the Domain deck, but you can kind of do whatever your pool allows you to do. I don't think there's a bad color to be playing in this format. And I asked some of my friends for some advice or some hot takes on the W format, and this is what I got. This comes from Raphael. He says, 3 to 5 color piles will more than likely be the go-to if you can't jam enough playables for aggro, especially since packs can have 1 to 3 dual lands. In week 2 to 3, you probably begin to see colors taper down a bit. In week 4 to 5, the player base is split between mainly aggro and domain, and a few players playing tempo. Week 6 is where it all comes together. With enough losses, it's just Chaplain on Chaplain action. And oh boy, I opened a Chaplain. I just won with a couple of defenders in there. I don't think it's going to do much, but hey, it's in the deck, right? It's in there. And if it's your first league or you're new, usually there is a split between very aggressive aggro decks and dirtily control decks. And I think Raphael's right. 5-color Dirtle, going to be a great deck, but it's going to fold to aggressive, red, white, green, red. These very fast decks that can get under them. So which way do you want to go, huh? You want to be tempo, aggro, control, something different? Land destruction, maybe mill? I'm here for it. I want to see it. Stream your games, please. I want to see the games streamed. This comes from Adam S. Wisma. Adam says, Val is going to dominate punishment packs and complaints. Very good call out there, Val. Very broken set. Probably the most power-hungry set of the bunch we have right now. Second prediction, Black-Green X. Going to be an S-tier build. Third prediction, no base blue decks in the top 8. And no Defender decks in the top 8. Fifth prediction, Sawyer's going to finish in second. That's a good bet to make. It's a good bet to make that Sawyer makes the top 8. Because I don't know that he has missed a top 8 since he's been in the league. So that's it. Get out there. Pools are rolled. Please build your pool. Get some practice games in because tomorrow it all kicks off and it all goes strong. Before we can go straight into Dom U territory, we got to talk a little bit about Player of the Year. Right now, Player of the Year, as I record, as I talk, it's Thursday, 3 p.m., and these are the standings. Johnny, 1-5, not going to make it. Sorry, Johnny, but I tip you my cap once again. I give you another wink, another smile, and a good old nod. Ryan W, 3-0, very good chance to make it. Cody Race, 0-0. Cody, okay, I love you, man. I love you like a brother, and you seem like a really cool, really nice guy, but you got to get your games in, man. It's Thursday, and Saturday's the cutoff, and I think it's early on Saturday, because we got to plan a mega draft, okay? So, Cody, please, for the love of God, your friend Goku is here telling you, you got to get your games in, man. You made it to Player of the Year. I know you've been busy. I know you've been out of town. I know you're probably coming back to a bunch of stuff, too, but you have got to get it together, Cody, please. I don't know what's going on, but 0-0, Cody. Get your games in, please. Steve is 5-1. He's in. He's locked. Richard K, 2-3. Chris P, 3-2. Looking like Chris P has a very good shot of making it. Damian S, 2-4. Oscar T, 2-3. That is your Alpha Pod. Let's take a look at the Omega Pod. You got Jake C, 1-3. John P, 4-3. Maxime, 4-3. Adam S, 1-4. Sawyer, 5-2. Emmett, 4-3. Justin, 4-2. And Daniel, 1-4. I believe Omega Pod is all locked up. And the top 4 are John, that's me, Goku, hey, how you doing? Maxime, Sawyer, and Justin. I do want to give a quick shout out to Emmett, who looks like he's going to miss it on tie breaks. And Emmett, I feel you, man. I feel for you. I know that's not a good place to be in, and I know it's not a good feeling. Because your record's good, positive win record. But we're in a weird pod, man. We're in a weird pod, and tie breaks just didn't go your way. So Emmett, I'm thinking about you, man, and I'm feeling you. I got my heart on my sleeve because I thought I wasn't going to make it. And I was feeling pretty bad. I was feeling pretty bad. So I don't know how you're feeling, Emmett, but you're a great player and you seem like a great person. So, this one's for you. It's tough that you don't make it in. But hey, there's always next year. And I know you're a great player. You're gonna be there. And we have a lot of great players in the league, right? We've got over 85 players in this DOMU league, some new faces, some old faces. But I talked to none other than our TO, our tournament organizer, Chris York. So please join me as I enlist.
So we're all dog faces. We're all very, very different. But there is one thing that we all have in common. We were all stupid enough to enlist in the Army.
That's right. I enlisted Chris York to come on the show. We're talking mechanics. We're talking rules. We get some league history. And, it's Chris. We're going to have some good, fun conversations. So please listen to that interview right now. All right, everyone. Welcome to the show. Thank you for coming in and join me as I enlist none other than Chris York. Chris, thank you for coming on the show.
Always a pleasure. Thanks for having me. I was just scooped from being your second time guest by Sawyer.
I know.
Who gets his appearances based on his performance, unlike me. I got totally smoked in Brawler's Gate.
Yeah, let's talk about Brawler's Gate. We haven't seen you since then. You came on to start at Brawler's Gate, bright-eyed, looking positive for the future, feeling good about it. How was Brawler's Gate? How did you do it? And what did the league learn from Brawler's Gate?
I guess let's start with the league lessons from the league committee standpoint. So what did we learn? We learned that Brawl might not be ideal for a main tournament offering. So there were some frustrations, first of all, with overpowered commanders. There were some frustrations with repetitive play patterns. Those were two of the major complaints that we heard. And you could maybe mitigate some of that by having commanders rotate between game one and game two. Mm-hmm. You could fix it in other ways. But the feeling was that it made a better mega draft format than a main tournament format. So on the positive side, mega drafting for Brawl, super fun, super challenging, and a completely new way of looking at draft, right? So you don't go for duplicates. You're hunting for new commanders as at a premium. It's just a different experience completely.
Trying to draft, what I saw, lots of strong synergies. There's a lot that goes into a draft, especially because some of the cards are repeated in some of the packs. And it's do you stick with the commander you open up early? Do you try to get lucky late? Do you just take the best card? There's a lot to think about. It was a really fun mega draft.
As a spectator, I had a blast. I mean, I was just watching it. It was great. Other lessons, I guess, that silver bullets were too powerful, and that the choice of a punishment pack, which was our traditional way to introduce new cards to players' league pools, was a non-option. So I saw a suggestion on how to fix that as well. The best idea that I saw was to sort of either sacrifice bullets, which might not be in the spirit of a commander-themed league or a brawl-themed league.
Yeah.
But maybe a pack and a bullet was a great suggestion. I forget who put that up.
Oh yeah,
but I thought that was a neat fix, right? So it's most of the cards are still randomly added, but there might have one card that you could add that's of your choice. It might not be unbalancing.
And it gives you a chance of maybe cracking a new commander and possibly changing color pairs or something. So you're not all in. You're not so all in on something.
Yeah, I think that's the thing that maybe you were expressing this in a couple of other players, is that once you start going down the bullet road, then you're stuck, because then you've completely exhausted your choice for a specific commander. And if you change commanders, those choices are either irrelevant or suboptimal, neither of which are desirable outcomes.
And I also don't want to chase a new commander in packs. I don't want to chase the odds of opening a legendary in colors that I want to play. That just sounds, those odds sound bad. It just doesn't sound like good odds to me.
Yeah, if you're a gambling man, you don't take those.
Now, you did open packs, Chris. You came on, last at the beginning of Brawler's Gate. You predicted a 12 and 11, just above 500. You said a very humbling choice, but you didn't get there. You chose to open packs. You were one of these people who win all packs. You actually beat me, so I was one of your wins. Yeah, I don't know if you remember that. You beat me pretty good, and I want to say week one. And I thought your deck was actually looking pretty good, but didn't seem to work out great for you.
Yeah, yeah. So that I have fun by opening packs. That's part of the fun for me of
Yeah.
League. And so if it wasn't gonna be fun for me, I didn't have all the time to like make a spreadsheet and look up databases and you know look at the meta and figure out what other people are doing and try to add strategically. So for me, summer was actually a pretty busy time personally this year. So I knew I wouldn't have the time to go super spiky, which is weirdly how this league that was intended for casual play ended up being one of our
So
spikiest
spiky,
ever.
so spiky. Oh my gosh.
So I knew that I was out for serious contention. So I'm like, just have fun with it, and I did. And I earned my earliest elimination from league ever. I don't think I've ever been scrubbed out
Ooh,
in week 3. So
rough.
it's historically bad for me.
Out with the old Baldur's Gate. Right now, we're currently in Player of the Year. That's going on strong. We had 16 players qualify, playing for a top 8 mega draft for a title of Player of the Year. Any thoughts on how Player of the Year is going? What are your thoughts and feelings on Player of the Year? Who's the one to watch?
Gosh, I wouldn't like to say my predictions on this show have been famously bad. I mean, I would have thought that. I mean, just personally, I would have thought that Johnny had a better shot than he ended up having. It looks like he's
Yeah.
going to get cut out in the semifinals.
Yeah, it's
2021
rough.
Player of the Year, mantle holder, went 0-5 in the first couple of days of the tournament, and it looks like he's not going to make the cutoff. For top 4 of his pod, he's not going to make the mega draft. So I don't know. I would have said Sawyer would have one of the strongest chances, but now he's sitting at a 2-2 record. So I don't know. I mean, I maybe ask me again when we cut to the top 8. I might have a clearer picture, but right now, expectations are being foiled.
Every player is good and every deck is insane. You guys chose a very interesting format as Tinkerer's Cube sealed. It's there's just a lot. There's so many mythics and rares, and these decks are crazy. I'm playing in it right now, and I'll tell you, these matches are hard. They hurt my brain. The deck building was very difficult for me for whatever reason. I had a really hard time building my deck. Even now, there's a card in there I don't like, but I've had to submit my deck list, so I'm stuck with it. I set it out game 2 immediately every time. But I'm having a blast.
Oh yeah, well, I'm glad you're having a good time with it. Do you have any personal predictions about who you think is going to take it?
I probably would have guessed Sawyer too, just because his top 8 record is like phenomenal.
He's
like
streak.
Yeah, his streak is so good, and it's like I don't even understand. I think he's top 8'd every league he's done. He's made the top 8, I think, which is insane. Like that, I don't even understand what the odds are for that. If someone could calculate it, like that's just very crazy to me. So yeah, he's just got the numbers on his side. So I would probably say Sawyer, but right now, I mean, Steve, who has sat out a couple leagues, he's off to a real hot start. I don't think he's lost a game yet, and his deck looks great. So some of these guys that have maybe dropped off for a league or two that we've kind of forgotten about a bit could come back and steal it, I think.
They got the hunger.
Yeah, they're like,
Maybe that's
don't forget about me. You're going to remember the name Steve at the end of this, I think.
And that's what it is. I mean, bringing the year together with this Player of the Year tournament is a sort of way to remember, like, hey, you know what? Maybe a couple of months have passed, maybe half a year's passed. These people are still on the server. They're still putting in work, and it's their chance to reprove, right, to the community that they're winning a league or a mega draft or whatever wasn't just a fluke.
Yeah.
They've still got the chops to beat the best of the best. So for that reason, I tune into every stream I can of the Player of the Year matches, and super interested to see where it goes. Before we switch topics, I want to say, fun fact: we had originally planned for there to be this new set that we created, a new cube called Arena Masters, which was going to be all the cards that were printed in master sets and then actually just active on Arena. But we just didn't have the time to balance it correctly. And so in the end, we defaulted to something that was tried and tested and true, the Tinkerer's Cube. And I think that, it's sufficiently robust and challenging to be an appropriate format for the Player of the Year.
Now, when I had Sawyer on, we were talking about how cool it was to be doing an unsolved format. Something you can't just go online and go, hey, well, what's the top 5 best cards? What's the best color player to play in this? And it really makes you think as a Magic player, right? Like you really gotta pay attention and look at different builds and like look at the fixing and look at your bombs and try and figure out what the optimal thing is, because all 5 colors are good. Everybody's deck everybody's pool, I'm sure all 5 colors are playable. So you just have to find the optimal build, and that's just a really fun and interesting thing that I've been
Skill
enjoying
testing.
watching. Right? Oh, so good. Well, Chris, new league, who dis? Out with Baldur's Gate. Player of the Year's going on, but we got Dom U coming up. It's on Arena. I'm doing drafts. I'm getting killed in my drafts, by the way. Doing terrible in my drafts. Keep trying to try this 5-color nonsense deck and then getting destroyed. Let's talk Dom U. What are some of the mechanics in our next league?
There aren't any.
Hey,
So quick. We're done. No, I mean, so the one thing, we're returning to letting players choose their punishment packs from any set in standard. And that's nothing new. It's more of a return to, and we're not making this one hyper complicated. So we had to do a lot of stretching and turning and twisting to create a brawl format for League. And frankly, I think players are looking for the simple, pure League experience going into the fall. Going into the fall also is our biggest recruiting time for the League. So we want to have a nice, simple format, welcoming in its simplicity, and make that work. So yeah, we're sort of like a little burnt out on high concept leagues, at least for the time being. We might return to something spicier for the Brothers War or the league that comes between these two standard offerings. But for right now, the big new thing is actually the reward system. Starting in the 2023 play system, for which Dominaria United is the first tournament, we found new ways to reward players for playing in our tournaments. So we wanted to give out things like the promo packs that Three Kings Loot at one of our partner stores gives us, and the occasional sort of sets of online codes that we get, or any sort of other physical prizes. We wanted to distribute these on a scheme that lasts for the entire play season, and that also rewards content creators like yourself, people that design the bots that make the league run, and just a way to thank people. So you can check that out in the announcements thread. Basically, you get 1 point for just signing up and playing in a league. You get 1 point for referring any new player who identifies you as the reason they joined on the registration form. You get an additional point if you make top 50% and you go infinite, so to speak. You get a point if you win a side quest with at least 8 players.
cool.
You get a point if you stream a league match with 8 or more non-player viewers, and you report that to me with a screenshot to get your point. A limit of once per league, because we can't have people like just jacking up the points all the time. And then you get 2 points for making top 16 at the end of the league. You get 2 points for winning rookie of the league. You get 2 points for most improved player at the end of the league. And you get 2 points if you create league content sometime during the duration of the league. And again, that's a limit of once per league. Otherwise, you could just produce an article every day and just win the race. Finally, you get 3 points for making top 8 at the end of the league, and you get 4 points for winning the league or winning the mega draft if these are different players. And so these points stack up over the seasons. There's a little there's tiers which sort of tell you what you are. We're going to award badges at the end of Dom U for the first time for this system. So level 1, you're an initiate. That's 1 to 5 points. Level 2, you're an apprentice. That's 6 to 10 points. Level 3, you're a task mage. That's 11 to 15 points. Level 4, you're a sorcerer. That's 16 to 20 points. Level 5, you're an archmage. That's 21 to 25 points. And level 6, you're a magus of the league with 26 or more points.
So how do you cash those out? Is it most at the end of the year?
Most at the end of each league, we can figure out where those packs go. So we're basically going to take the top 20 points leaders, and we're going to cash them out with their promo packs. And so if you get a commanding lead, you kind of have to keep that lead to keep getting your promo packs. Otherwise, people will overtake you during the season. I suppose it's a bit like a reward system for subscribers or whatever, right? People that stay the longest will get the most points naturally, but you can also spike because of your performance. So you can overtake people who have been in more leagues than you. So there's a chance for new players who join halfway through the season to overcome, let's say, an average player who just gets an average number of points.
Whoever starts making another podcast to try and beat me on these content creator points, back off. All right, we don't need that. We got one podcast. We don't need another. Okay, do something else. Do a video show. Some of video. I don't touch video. Do that.
There you go.
Oh, Chris, that's real exciting. That's actually a really cool introduction. I'm glad that you guys are doing something like that because winning promo packs is always, well, I think one of the really fun and cool things you can do in this league because it's kind of
Yeah.
replaced Friday Night Magic for me. It's nice to still get physical cards, and those promo packs they're usually pretty dang good, man. They're usually pretty good packs, those promo packs. That foil stamp adds at least $1, I find, to most cards.
Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah. It's a good little perk. And here's the thing too, John. We were kind of distressed sometimes because we would have to create, say, 25 unique achievements per league to give out those packs with, which was daunting because we already spent time designing and facilitating the league. And so this gives us a system where we just say, well, who's in front on points? They get promo packs. And we're still saving 5 each league for special league-specific achievements.
Oh, cool. That's great.
But so that we can still have, like, the foil promo packs will still go for unique achievements, but the 20 non-foil ones we'll just give out for points, and that just rewards the people who are contributing to the community the most. So hopefully that works out. It's a new system, and we're open to tweaking it throughout the season if we find that there's something unbalanced in it. So yeah, looking for feedback and hoping people like it.
We got the new league Dom U coming up in Baldur's Gate. Not a lot of new players in the league, right? I think there's 2, maybe 2 in Baldur's Gate, but it was a weird league. It wasn't really limited. It was constructed brawl, weird format. Let's talk about the new players going to be coming into the league, how we can be more accepting and welcoming of the new players in the league, and if you're a new player, what you can do to kind of ease your way in.
First of all, I guess I should say that the promo push on Reddit and other Discord sites just started today. Ryan D's in charge of that now. He's taken it over as part of his league committee duties. So we'll see how many people his posts bring in. So far, it's been promising, but again, it's just the beginning of the recruitment push. First thing we can do, I suppose, to make people welcome is to follow Wheaton's rule, right? Which is a sort of negative way of looking at it, but just don't be a dick.
Yeah, easy.
That's easy, right? Just don't do that. And that's the minimum, right? That's the minimum we owe each other. That's the minimum of respect that we can, function together as a community with. But then there's, people who want to go further, want to go out of their way to make people feel welcome. The thing that I would stress that doesn't make you act artificially nice or make you act out of character if you're not normally super friendly is just talk to people, right? Like, just insist on voice chat. That's the big thing, I think, that gives this a sense of community.
Use the voice chat, talk about the game afterwards, talk about the deck, give advice, talk about plays. That stuff always gets real fun. When you start talking Magic, we're all Magic players, we're all going to have something to say. So I always like that at the end of my game, like, oh yeah, I messed up on this player. Oh, were you holding this? I had you on this, and get a conversation going.
That's part of the reason that we have the winner submit the match result, because they've got to talk to the loser and ask them what pack they want to add. So the communication, the need for communication, is inbuilt into the league protocols. So we give you the opportunity to have that discussion, and I think it's kind of a healing moment between victor and vanquished at the end of the match, right? It's like it's a hand up, right? Like, say, look, I'm going to help you up off the ground now. I'm going to give you give you my arm here, and you can just have your new pack, and better luck next match, pal. And I think that's important, right? That's an important moment, a humanizing moment in an online format. And I think that it's sad to see lots of people just kind of grind their matches out on Arena without using the multiverse voice chat on our server, because they're missing out on that value. They're missing out on that sort of human interaction, which I think is really important, for that sense of community. In terms of the format, couldn't agree with you more. Like, we didn't see a lot of new members for the summer because, well, summer's league's off season always has been traditionally. It's a weird format. It was a weird format, Baldur's Gate. And enthusiasm for Brawl, has it ever been high? I'm not sure. we wanted to give it a try to sort of have that possibility explored. But Dominaria United, really popular set, very promising mechanics and synergies, and it's the time of year when people like I say, come back to the game, and it's the format. it's the classic sort of format. People are excited for that. So yeah, my expectations for registration are higher for DOMU.
Well, Chris, I love thinking of you. I love thinking of you as the league historian. You've been there forever. You know it all. You've seen it all. I know you dish out punishments and you bring up the glory. You're the TO. So many great things. You're a Riveteer first and foremost. We all know that. Can we get
the old alliance? Yeah.
Right. If nothing else, you're a Riveteer. Okay? When you're a Riveteer, you're a Riveteer till the end.
I still have the tattoo.
But I love getting you on, and I love hearing a story from the league's past. So if I get a story of really, anything that comes to your mind from any league, just a story of league's past from Chris.
Okay, I'll give you one if you want. It's not a very okay. All right, this isn't a happy story though.
Okay,
it's a sort of Cain and Abel story from the old times.
Okay.
So
okay.
this comes from the very beginnings of League, and I think that it's an interesting story because it illustrates a conflict that rages until this very day. So this goes way back to Tokyo university times, and playing at cafes with other research students. And there was a player I've written about this actually in my York on Game series for the Face to Face website. But there was this French fellow, Anton, who had joined this sort of casual league that we'd set up. And we were playing the finals at some Starbucks cafe in Shibuya, I believe. And we went to the finals, and we were playing our janky decks with packs from all sorts of different sets. And he had me dead to rights in his last turn with an Uktabi Drake. Now, for those who don't know that card, it's from Planar Chaos, and it has flying. It has haste. It's a 2/1 green creature with an echo of 1 green. So echo means if you don't pay the echo cost during your upkeep,
you gotta sacrifice.
Sayonara. Yeah. So he skips right through his upkeep phase. Says, I'm going to attack, and I'm like, not with that. You're not.
Ooh. I hate to call it judge on you, but you went past it, huh?
Exactly. And so this began a heated conversation, and which revealed in the end a deep philosophical difference between us about what League was and what League should be. So League, as you know, is a combination of competitive and casual. It's a hybrid format. It's not purely casual. It's not kitchen table in the strictest sense where, you can do takebacks. We don't allow takebacks. So in that way, we're competitive, right?
Yeah.
But there's no timers on our games. So in that way, we're casual. There's no limit on the time spent, right, in crafting your deck and investing, mental energy into it. So in that way, it's competitive. But there's a limited amount of money spent because you can't just, can't go to Modern and just like throw thousands of dollars and buy your way to a victory. So, it's a mix, right? And here's where it sort of like comes down to the present, right? So now there's a debate about pre-boarding. The competitive side of the league thinks that pre-boarding is fine. It's not ruled out. It's something that you can invest time in and gives you an edge if you do.
Sure.
And the casual side of the league thinks that it's a moral sin and it's a crime against the community if you do it. It's not okay. For me, I'm more on the line of saying, well, pre-boarding's fine. If you want to put the energy in and get that small edge, and so be it. If that's how you have fun with the game, do your thing. But I still think it's funny that this sort of rift or this schism between what the league is and what the league should be animates so many passionate discussions, right? Even down to the present. So for Anton and I, we were never as close again. We were like we were close before then. We were real close.
What was the ruling on that? Was it that he had to sacrifice it? Competitive REL.
Yeah, I held him to the rules. I held him to the rules of the game.
Yeah.
He appealed to the spirit of the game. He said so. My argument was based on facts, right? Which is like, this is the game that we are playing. These are the rules of the game. You violated a rule.
Yeah.
You paid your money. You takes your chances, right? So you knew what you were getting into. All the rules written on the cards. This is a match where nothing monetary is on the line, but a lot of pride's on the line for months of grinding this out, right? Because sometimes it would take months. We didn't have the sort of like weekly rollover, right, and the penalties involved. It wasn't that formal back then. So if you put like 3 months into getting your deck down to where it's just it's beautiful. It's just functioning it's firing on all cylinders. And then someone hands you the finals on the basis of their mistake, and then they ask for a take back. I think that's against the spirit of the rules. But he thought that the spirit of the game was that we allow each other to fuck up, and we permit each other to be sloppy in the ways that we play. But for me, that's always meant that your play, let's say discipline and hygiene, gets downgraded and the game suffers as a result. And so for me, Arena, it's the perfect way of keeping that kind of rules conformity beyond question. Right?
Oh yeah.
Arena does not let you do an undo in most cases, right? With a mana tap, it'll let you undo it, but everything else, you're playing for keeps. So I think that my spirit, or at least the way I understand how the game should be played, should be at this level of rules enforcement. Even if, right, people make mistakes, I think the way to get better is to suffer the consequences and then don't do it next time. I think that's how we get better. And I think we should, as a community, be helping each other pursue excellence. We should be helping each other get better at the game. And I think in most cases, that's exactly what happens.
Oh yeah, I can't tell you how much of a better player I've become just from being in this league and watching people play. And I'm like, I didn't know you could do that. Those cards can do that. Okay, cool. I'll do that next time. I didn't know.
Yeah.
Well, Chris, we're running out of time. But before we go, I asked you last time. I'd like to ask you again this time. What do you think your record's going to be at the end of Dom U?
This is an awkward question. Last time, I jinxed myself considerably. So I think I'm going to plead the fifth on this one.
Pleading the fifth. You know what? That's fair. You can't be wrong with that.
Exactly.
no matter what happens, you're going to be doing good. I'll tell you right now. I know you're going to have a better league this time than the last one. I guarantee it.
Couldn't be worse.
One of my favorite things about you, Chris, and I don't know if you're gonna do it this league, but you love opening packs and you always go for just give me a random pack. I don't even care. Just go crack me something. And I love that. You're not someone who's trying to go all Val for some busted crazy thing or like all this for synergy. It's like you just want to play good old fashioned chaos magic. And that's something I always really respect you for. Even if there are better choices, you just go, hey, just crack me a pack. And it always works out. I always see you opening rares. They're like on color for you in these random packs you get. Very fun to watch your strategy unfold. I really like it.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Just trying to have fun. That's the casual part of me. I'll hold you to the rules. I'll hold you over the stove of the rules. But at the same time, the point for me is to have fun within the rules, within those rules.
Oh yeah.
Let the chaos flow.
Let the chaos flow. Thank you for coming on the show, Chris. Always appreciated. Big fan, and I wish you luck out there in Dom U.
Cheers, John. Always a pleasure.
All right, man. Thank you very much. You have a wonderful day.
You too. Talk soon.
Chris is great. I could talk to Chris forever, man. Every time I've talked to Chris on the podcast, we've gone to time. I don't pay for Zoom, so I only get 45 minutes, right? And every time I talk to Chris, it always comes down to there's a minute left, and I'm like, Chris, we gotta hurry this up. I gotta go. This is gonna get canceled. But the truth is that I could really talk to Chris for hours. He's a smart guy. He's fun to talk to. He's got a good attitude, and he knows a lot about Magic, and of course, a lot about the league. And we're here, man. We're ready to kick off Dom U. Again, I'm excited. I don't like my pool. I hope I don't just, falter out early. And I don't know what packs I'm going to open, but I need the help. So please, put your hands to the sky and put your power. When Goku does a spirit bomb? That's what I'm asking you to do right now. Everyone put your hands up and just close your eyes and just think spirit bomb for Goku. And push some of that power into the packs I'm going to open because I need the help. I really do. Oh, and that's the show. But before I go, I'll touch on if you see old episodes are being taken off SoundCloud or being taken off the podcast app you use, it's just because I'm cheap and I don't pay for hosting, so I can only host like 2 to 3 hours online for free at a time. those episodes aren't erased forever. I'm gonna make an archive somewhere, probably on YouTube, that I can throw them up on. But if you see episodes going away, older episodes, Riveteer Radio now gone, Baldur's Gate mostly gone from SoundCloud. I just don't have the space for hosting, man. I don't pay for it. I'm cheap. I do this all for fun, and that means you get the current season, the current league is kind of what we're going to be focusing on. The old episodes, they'll be there somewhere. I got them on a hard drive. Don't worry about that. What you need to worry about is keeping a good 7. Is that a good 7? Are you going to mulligan that away? I don't think so. I wouldn't. I'd keep it. It's good. Got 2 lands and cards. And I hope that the shuffler is in your favor, because you're a great player and a great person. I'll see you here next week as we talk about how everyone's doing at the end of Week 1 Dominaria United. Get excited, everybody. Woo!